Hey and welcome to this tutorial. In this lesson I want to show you how you can easily create an interactive 3D object in Spline and then integrate it in Webflow. And on top of that I will show you how you can add native Webflow interactions to your 3D object, and I will show you how I used this technique to create an immersive landing page with multiple 3D objects with different interactions. In Spline you can choose a 3D file from the Spline community, or of course create your own one, and I did exactly this. I have this 3D object in my file, and everything what we need to do is now we have to select our object and add another state. So just select your element and then click on the plus icon next to states. So you have now two states, your base state and another state, and on this state you can modify some values to change your object. And I will do this. I will just play around with this value here right at the bottom on my material. I will change the displace value to, let's say, 250, or let's reduce it a little bit. Yeah, 200 is okay. And now we have two states. So we have our base state, and that is the object per default, and this is our edited state. And now we can create a transition. We can select an event, or we can create an event. So just click on this plus icon next to events. So first you can choose an event. So let's say we want to play our animation when the user clicks the mouse. So we just choose mouse down, and then we can activate a toggle mode, so we can click multiple times and the animation plays forward or backward on each click. And then we can add an action, and here we just choose transition, and then we edit this transition, and here we have different options. So first we want to define from which state to which state we want to animate, and there we just choose our current state. That's the base state. If you don't do anything, we could also rename this one to transformed state, then it's more understandable. So we want to animate from the current state to our transformed state, and here we can define our duration. Maybe let's add 2 seconds with an ease in out. It's okay. And now we can go to the preview. Just click on this play icon and we click on our object, and our object is transforming the displace value. And when we click a second time, it animates back because we just defined that toggle in our click event. Alright, so that's it. A very basic animation, a very basic and easy transition, and our object is ready to export. So now we can click on the export button at the top, and then we can go to the play settings, and there we have a lot of options you can play with, and maybe you want to add a little hover effect, so that your object is moving or following your mouse cursor. I just show this to you. I deactivate this and click on update viewer. That is something you always have to do when you make some changes here in this option panel, and then go back to the preview mode, and you see when I'm hovering over my object, nothing happens, and when I go back into the export settings, into play settings, and then I activate this on hover effect, I update my viewer and then go back to my preview mode, and when I hover now over this object, it's moving a little bit because it's following now my mouse cursor. And in this screen you see there are a lot of options you can play with, and when you're ready, just click on update viewer, and when it's done, you just can click on overview and copy this URL, because this is the URL you need for Webflow. So just click on this icon and the link is copied to your clipboard. And now in Webflow you just can add a new element and add Spline scene and just paste it in where you want to have it. And here you can now paste in your URL from Spline, and then you integrated your 3D object. You see we have all our interactions we set in Spline, and you see this hover effect. We can click on it and we see our transition, and our toggle is also working. So pretty nice. And now on top of that we also can add native Webflow interactions to our 3D objects, and this is pretty cool. This is a new feature from Webflow. So just let's say we want to animate our page load. So you see we have this little animation where our typography is fading in a little bit, and let's say we want to animate our 3D object, so it's sliding from the bottom to the top and it's rotating in that time. So we are going to our interaction panel in page load and edit our page in animation, and just let me clean this. And now I select my spline scene, and then I add a new animation, select spline, and now you have these options. So you can change the position of your object, you can rotate it or scale it on every axis. So first you have to choose your object, so you can choose every object in your spline file. As you see here in Spline I have this layer panel, and I have full control over all of these objects in Webflow. So let's say we want to animate our sphere. This is our 3D object, and here let's say we want to rotate this a little bit, make maybe 50, and just change the position to, okay, let's make it out of the viewport, a very big number here maybe. And now we have to add another animation to animate it back to the top. So we animate our X position and our Z rotation, and then we increase the duration, maybe let's say 4 seconds, and a nice ease, maybe out expo. And let's play this. Oh man, that's freaking fast. Let's say we take 20. Okay, that looks crazy. I think 5 is okay. Alright, let's say 2.5. Yeah, that's way better. I think I got the numbers a little bit wrong, but no problem. I think this is a cool animation now. Or maybe let's add a little delay here from 0.5, and now publish this. Just have a look on our publish side. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. You see, when I reload the page, our 3D object is not only sliding from the bottom to the top like you would animate a HTML object, but it's also rotating like a 3D object. So when I reload, you see this. It's a very cool effect, I think. And of course we still can move our cursor around our object, and it's following our cursor, and we click on it and it's transforming into this strange object. And yeah, it's a toggle. And yeah, we combined Spline interactions with Webflow interactions, and that's pretty mighty, pretty awesome, I think. And I created this landing page with exactly this technique. So I created this 3D object with Spline and then integrated it in Webflow, and added a little more animations with GSAP and locomotive scroll for a smooth parallax effect. And you see how the 3D objects are moving while my cursor is moving, or when I scroll down, they are moving like this. And when I go down here, you see a lot of more interaction examples you can play with. You know, on hover, you can click on them. We have this follow cursor example, or you also could play an animation on key press. So when you're on the side and press the X key on your keyboard, it's playing this animation. And yeah, just have a look, and you see some other examples here, the link to the Spline docs, which is very great. And yeah, I think and this is the tutorial you're watching now. Yeah, and I think this is a very good feature in Webflow now, that you can use Spline natively in Webflow, create native Webflow interactions with your Spline objects. Yeah, I think this is a very powerful feature. I'm very happy that Webflow and Spline work together now. And yeah, that's it. This was my first English tutorial and my first video on this channel. So if you like this tutorial, feel free to subscribe my new channel, and I would be very happy to see you next time. See ya.